It's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 and certainly off the line well. Freddie Rasmussen got the leap of his life heading in towards turn one. Covering off the inside is, of course, Lucas Blakely trying to batter back against Patrick Sheepos. Running wide is Barry Burman. He's being attacked now by Josh Ito in towards turns 2, 3 and 4, and certainly Ito getting the upper hand, and Williams has gone off. No, goodness me, is that a Williams? Yes, it's Caraton. Caraton is off, and Barry Burman has fallen to 10th place.
And Caraton's off, Benham's off, Manley's off, lots of drivers losing positions. Patrick Sipos down into 9th, and that all started with the Alpine car getting tapped, I think, into that first corner. Barry Burman back up the inside of Patrick, heading in towards turn number 11. Bad start for the pair of them.
Yeah, not ideal at all, and Barry's got to try and fight back. He's now ahead of Patrick Sheepos, who is now down to 10th place. Will Lewis just on the cusp of the top 10, but now being attacked here by Joni Tormala, who now dives in down the inside as they now make their way out of turn 12 in towards turn 13 now. The AlphaTauri of Tormala now splitting the team. Down the inside, in comes Barry Burman. Now that came from out of nowhere, out of the sky, and down onto the track. They came out of turn 11, and Barry Burman, like a pure volatile Ferrari missile, looking to try and find his way in towards the top 3, as now Otmir moves up into second ahead of Danny Berejnay, and now it's Lucas Blakely on the attack as they go wheel to wheel, heading out of turn 13 now. They'll stay side by side through the very technical third sector, and it will be Berejnay fending off his opponent. It will be Lucas Blakely staring P4 right in the face. So now head down this long straight now. Berejnay looking to launch the attack this time on Jarno Otmir as they do fight it out. Jarno loses out to P2 as they further back. Brendan Lee also looking to try and defend the place against Fassi, who sent the warning shot in against the Alfa Romeo Sauber. The Sauber Esports driver now looking to try and retain the place, with Fassi knocking on the door convincingly.
Whoa! The two Saubers touch, George. The two Saubers touch. Brendan Lee. Thomas Ronhard's gone into the back of Brendan Lee, and now all of a sudden Thomas Ronhard losing a number of places because here comes Joni Tormala around the outside of turn number 18. Thomas Ronhard going deep on the brakes, trying to go around the outside of Ismail Fassi, unintentionally taps the back of his teammate, and maybe there's some wing damage on the Sauber.
Yeah, there could be, and I've got to say there was a lot of movement happening heading in towards the final sector, heading through towards turn 20 as well. Longue very nearly had his chance, wasn't able to quite pull it off against Joni Tormala, but nonetheless still on the cusp of breaking to within this top 10. And whilst he stays behind Tormala, his strategy should work out for the better as this race carries on. Burman needs to try and usher in everything he can, because if this carries on, of course, if they keep knocking at that wood, if these hards continue to penetrate to within where these softs are right now, it's really going to do damage to Barry Burman's strategy. To me, Burman's damage was done on the opening lap.
Further back behind, though, Thomas Ronhard, the inside of both his teammate and Ismail Fassi. Wow, what a move there.
Yeah, the two Saubers once again coming together in the final sector. Fassi now looking to come straight back at him down the inside as they make their way through sector 3. Brendan Lee still with the upper hand. Certainly no team play here by the two Saubers as they come wheel to wheel. In comes Fassi again as he looks to try and slot it down the inside. They're going to stay together, heading through now towards the final two corners. Out of 19, through to 20. Ronhard denies Fassi, but Fassi straight away back at him again here, heading through turn 20. They'll stay together again. Williams v Sauber. The DRS opens for both of them as they now look to streak up through towards turn 1. The artist with the inside. He'll have the tiger line through turn 1. Leaves it late on the brakes. Silano's in front. Is the car going to be in front? Not quite, as they run side by side through the slalom in the first sector of lap 10. Jarno Otmir takes the lead of the race here, heading in towards lap 13 into lap 14 out of turn 12, and manages to jump ahead of Mercedes teammate Danny Berejnay. So there we have it, the swap, as I'm sure they're semi-working together of sorts, because of course they both represent Mercedes, as does Jake Benham, who's currently at the bottom end of the running cars, as we're now seeing them head through now the final sector this time around. So it's now all on the hard runners to try and essentially dish out some really fast pace. They've really got to use these tyres now in this initial stint, because they've got to try and do something, as those such as Freddie Rasmussen are going to be rapidly quick. And as I'm saying that, 3 cars bailing into the pits. Further back, we do have some squabbling, as now we have a 3 wide heading in towards turn 12. A Sauber esports car belonging to Thomas Ronhard. Dylan Warren gets a penalty for his trouble as well. 3 seconds. They went wide together. Dylan Warren refusing to give up as Blakely now goes on the attack as they head through the final sector now, the early stages of it. They got the triple corners coming up next, and Warren will have the favourable inside, but it will not help him as Blakely pursues around the outside and successfully takes the place. Stellar move there from Lucas Blakely, and he's up into P11.
Stunning stuff there from Lucas. Further up ahead as well, Jan Ortmir has been fighting it out with Joni Zormala. He tried to go for the move potentially on Nicolas Longe, then saw that Nico was on the attack of Joni, and finally Jano is going to be able to get up the inside and into P6 in this Grand Prix. This is when Joni Zormala is going to feel the effects of the fresher medium tyres, battling further back behind Josh Adowu, Thomas Ronhard, Lucas Blakely, even Dylan Warren has fresher tyres than Joni Zormala, and he will be feeling the effects of that very, very soon. 11 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and everyone who was fighting at the front earlier on in this Grand Prix, they filtered their way back into the very front of the order, but Barry Burman and Brendan Lee in a much higher position than they saw before.
Oh, Thomas Ronhard down the inside here at coming down in towards turn 11 here on lap 18. Really wanted to try and surprise Josh Ito ever so slightly. He did a very similar thing earlier on, and now with DRS open as they burst down towards turn 12. Didn't quite work that time. We do have some movements further up as well as Danny Berejne tries to force off the pressure here from Brendan Lee. These two former teammates as well. Remember all those years ago back at Mercedes, they got Barry Burman in behind them as well. Of course, Brendan Lee, a former Ferrari driver as well, so he's very familiar with various different names, various different teams in this championship, as now the sister Sauber car now looks to try and put the squeeze here on Josh Ito, looking to go down the inside here at the triple corners once again here this time though. Ronhard superior. Brilliant move there from Thomas Ronhard, and now the Dutchman looking to hold on. Look at that. Blakely and Ito coming together. A massive moment as they burst around the final corner, very nearly losing it altogether though, and Blakely had to wait in behind. As we're now seeing them wheel to wheel, side by side again in that battle for P9 and P10. Once again, it's Josh Ito and Lucas Blakely coming together this time around, heading out of turn 12, around turn 13 again this time now. As the Red Bull and the McLaren come together, a little bit of contact, a little bit of needle. There's a deep dive there from Blakely as he looks to send it up the inside. The Blakely bomber on display as they go wheel to wheel again through the triple right-handers. Again we see it, they dance here around the latter circuit, the latter sector here at COTA. Benito flexing his muscles from the Ronda Valleys as now he goes around the outside, heading through turn 20, but Blakely has his number, the Scot with a nose in front so far.
Yeah, finally, Lucas Blakely has made this move stick, and now Dylan Warren's on the attack on both of them, up the inside and towards turn number 1. Dylan Warren, out of nowhere, has caught them lacking, and he has gone for that move up into P9 despite the penalty to his name. That is stunning stuff from Dylan Warren. Ismail Fassi has also arrived onto the scene and is through on Josh Adowu, and he's all over the back of Lucas Blakely at this point. Oh dear, Ismail into the back of Lucas, and all of a sudden now Josh is back around the outside. Looks like he's been able to fend off the attack from the Red Bull, but the Williams driver getting his elbows out, only 6-lap-old medium tyres onto that car. He could still be in a decent position, George, to potentially get some good points.
A bit of a tank slapper there on part of Danny Berejne, the rear end just stepping away from him, but he will have the DRS. I don't think he was too upset to lose the place to Brendan Lee on that previous lap, and will certainly take P2 away this time around. So Danny Berejne back in P2, and despite not closing out with a potential race win on the cards, of course Rasmussen has done his damnedest to make sure that gap has stayed over 2 seconds, over 2.5 seconds to boot. It's 2.6 now. Brendan Lee, though, still fighting it out as Jarno Opmeer battles with Thomas Ronhard. He sends it up the inside. A late gasp here, but the late gasp comes from one Great Dane, Freddie Rasmussen, who we have not seen take the top step of the podium at all this season. He's finished third twice. He's a winner here once, this time at COTA. The Great Dane, Freddie Rasmussen, wins the United States Grand Prix with Danny Berejne in second. Brendan Lee comes home in third.
through on the left-hand side. Hooks the apex, gets on the power nicely, and that is job done. Jarno Opmeer now to the last couple of corners now. His finest drive, his greatest drive, and he's done it at the Circuit of the Americas. He returns to the top step of the podium. Once again, the GOAT is back. Jarno Opmeer wins the US Grand Prix in a stunning Grand Prix.